Hi. When you go through a breakup, you're going to have a disappointment. So really part of what we're doing is processing through the disappointment of what we no longer have, of what we can no longer have, and maybe of what we never had. And I'm going to give you an exercise that's going to break it down and give you some writing prompts so you can begin to go through that process and be able to look at it. Hi, my name is Olivia. And I am passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can heal, overcome it, and move on with your life. So today, everything is coming from my book, I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts, How to Get Through Your Breakup. You can find the link in my bio, and I will also put a QR code on the screen. So when we go through a breakup, we are experiencing a disappointment because we wouldn't have really got in a relationship if we weren't expecting something to come of it or hoping something with it and for it. So when it ends, we're disappointed. And some of us are pretty good at dealing with disappointments. You may have had a lot of disappointments in your life and you found skills and tools to manage and to get through it. Maybe you had a lot of disappointments in your life, and because of that, you can't handle disappointments ever. Or maybe you just really have never had this big of a disappointment and you're feeling really overwhelmed by it and you have no idea how to get through it. So it's important to look at who you are when you experience disappointments and how you handle it. What do you normally do? Do you sink into a deep depression? Do you seek someone out and talk to them about it? Do you write about it and look at everything and kind of pick it apart? Do you try to bury it and just shove it and never look at it again? Just how do you normally deal with disappointment? So think back to your last disappointment if you feel you're in a safe space to do so. And again, because this is not therapy, if you don't feel like you're in a place to do so, then this is not the video for you. You would want to stop watching. But if you're like, no, I can look at myself with disappointments, I'm in a good space, then you can go ahead and keep going with the exercise. And if it's ever too overwhelming, just take a break. Or if you're deciding, no, this isn't for me, just don't watch the video. Because you always want to be safe first. And sometimes you're just not ready to look at things, and that's okay too. You just got to be able to listen to where you're at. So if you go back and look at your last disappointment and recognize, what did you do? Were you like a turtle and you just pulled in and just shut down and hid? Or, maybe you raged, maybe you cried, maybe you told a friend about it, or, you hinted at it but never really talked about it. Just looking at how you are with disappointments. So today is going to be some writing prompts, and we're kind of going to look at three things. So the first one is sadness. So sadness sometimes gets mixed up with tenderness. Sadness is when there is a loss. Sadness is when there is hurt from a loss or hurt from that disappointment. It's something that sort of like grieves you. That's when you're going to feel sad. So being treated poorly makes us sad. Being lied to and manipulated makes us sad. All of these things that are a disappointment, the pain of that disappointment, that's really expressed from a breakup through sadness. So you want to write about what was sad. Things that are hard to let go of. Things that are hard to comprehend that you went through. Ways that you may have treated the other person that just grieve you now. You can write about all of that as sadness. The other thing we want to write about is tenderness. So tenderness is something that it's painful and it hurts and it can make you cry, but it's because it's so like precious or so endearing. It's kind of like watching Seabiscuit or a show like that where there's just like this victory and you're just so like, ooh, and you just, that pain that makes you cry, that's tenderness. So not every time it hurts and you're crying is it from sadness. Sometimes it's from tenderness. And sometimes feeling that tenderness and acknowledging that it's gone can lead to sadness, but there still is those bits of tenderness. So if you're thinking about, okay, I have these things that I loved, these things that hurt to let go, these were near and so dear to me, and I'm going to miss them so much. It's so tender and precious when I look back. That's what you want to write about and separate from what made you sad, because they would be separate. And the better we get at breaking these things apart and be able to talk about them separately, the more correct we get it, the more our brain can make sense of it, and then it can leave us alone and we can move on. So until then, it's all this big wad of emotion and we just can't kind of like pick it apart. Okay, so After that, then what we want to do is write about hope. And this can be both tender and sad because we had maybe a lot of hope for the relationship. So what hope is gone now? What were you hoping for that you're just not going to have now? It's just not going to happen. And this is the part that's really hard to look at. And it's kind of like one of those last things to go. So it's the hope that is gone, and maybe also the hope that needs to be gone. The hope that we got to let go, we got to bury it, we have to sever from it, because some hopes die hard. That is so true. Whatever that expression is, some hopes die hard, meaning they don't let go without a fight. It's so hard to sort of like cut them off, get them out of you and let go of them. So what were you hoping for in the relationship? Maybe you were going to build a cabin. Maybe you were going to go with your whole family on a cruise when you had your 30-year anniversary or something. Or it could have been, just growing old in your golden years. And what was that going to look like? Maybe you were going to get a farm and like sell produce. Whatever your hopes were, what were you going to do? What were you hoping for? Maybe I was just hoping to have a partner my whole life. I was hoping to have a best friend with me every single day for the rest of my life until the end of my life. Or just any hope that you had for the relationship. I was hoping to be a couple at my child's wedding. I was hoping to anything you had that you were hoping. So what were you hoping? Now, once you get as much of that out as you can on paper, then you're going to look at what is never going to happen. What hopes do I have to face are just never going to happen? And let me just pause here for a second, because if you're not ready to face that right now, it's okay. All of this is a process. So if you're like, I'm not ready to open that door yet, don't open it. You don't have to. You will get there. So it's just being mindful. Okay, at some point, I'm going to have to open the door to the hope that I don't have anymore and I'm not going to be able to have anymore. But that doesn't have to be today. But now I'm mindful, like someday I'm going to have to open that door. And truly, when it's time, I'm trusting I'm going to be ready. I'm not ready to date, but I know that when the day comes, when I'm ready to open that door, it's not going to be as scary or as hard for me as it is right now. Because right now I'm not ready, but when I'm ready, I'm going to be able to be like, no, I'm ripping this door open and I'm digging this out because I want it out. I want it gone. So if you are ready to open that door and today is your day, or whenever you're ready, you can come back and find this video, then you just want to look at what are we never going to do? What am I never going to have with this person? We are not going to have our golden years together. There's not going to be a cabin that we're going to build. We're not going to have a 30th year wedding anniversary and take our whole family on a cruise. We're not going to be together at our children's wedding. We are going to have no more. I mean, you could still have Christmases together for the sake of your children if it's amicable and if you're, maybe that's not a hope you have to let go of, but maybe for someone it is. Not going to have any more holidays together. We're not going to whatever it is you were planning on, whatever it was you were hoping for, what are you not going to do again anymore? You're never going to go to the store together again. I don't know if you could say never, but for now we're not going to do those everyday couples things that most people do because we are not a couple any longer. So you could see how if you're still not looking at those hopes, if you're still not ready to let them go, then it makes sense why you're still holding on. Why you're still stuck, why you can't move on, why it's still impacting you to the level it is. It's just because you're not ready to look at it. And, if you go through and grab the book, I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts, everything leading up to this point gets you ready to open up that door. So that's why I say it is a process. And the writing prompts in here are designed to get you to a place where when it's time to open that door, it makes it much easier. So if you're not there today, there is still hope that you will get there. It's maybe just not today. And if it is today, then I do hope you open the door and take a look at it so that you can set yourself free. Because if this is not going to be a reality for your future, then the sooner we can face that and let go and move forward, the happier, healthier, and better off we're going to be, even though it hurts, even though it's painful, and we don't want to do it. But again, we want to be well. We want to be well. We want to be whole. We want to be healthy. So you can find all of this and more from Amazon. I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts. And the link is in the description. Also, I have a link for the course. It's available on my website. It's always in the description. I will also put more videos on the screen for you to go and watch so you can learn more about relational trauma and also how to heal from your breakup. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.